Today's goal is to design, print, and assemble a 3D printed wearable using one of the 3D printed experiments that I've made. Let's get started!
My name is Krizia from So Printed, and I like to 3D print wearables.
I went to architecture school and I did a lot of 3D modeling. I got really interested in seeing things come to life. So I was researching online and saw that a lot of fashion designers were starting to experiment by 3D printing pattern pieces, and I started to 3D print textiles and fabric and got really into it. What I'm kind of using it is for flatter things, which is like a bit different, and only few people I've seen are trying to explore it. So part of what I'm doing is sharing it so people see like the potential that it has. The filament that I'm using is called TPU, but it is elastic, so it's technically like a rubbery elastic material that when it heats up, you can mold it and turn it into other things. So that's why it creates like this perfect outline of the pattern that you design in your computer. The cool thing is that if it's not easy to sew, whether it's like too thick or stuck for some reason, the pattern that you chose, that you can alter it, change it in your computer and make it work for what you want. To weld the pieces together, you could use many things. The elements are so thin that, having like a big glob of glue there, it's like takes away the actual aesthetic or the look that you want. This is a 3D pen, and it does exactly the same thing that a 3D printer does. You're the one that's kind of freehanding your design. Since it's the same material that the pieces are made of, when it heats it up, you sort of weld it together and it seals up the joints that you have. They're super easy to sew. They kind of feel like athletic jackets that are kind of rubbery on you. It feels like that, so it's not like a completely foreign thing. There's similar things out there to this. My friend's birthday is coming up, and I think I have enough time to make something for her using one of the 3D printed textiles that I've developed. What you do in your computer using computer-aided design, which is CAD software, you draw it up, you give it a height, you give it a width, it'll make it exact the way you designed it. What the printer does is receive a file when you plug in like a USB. It turns it into code. The printer knows it'll take that code and it'll draw exactly what you drew up in the same points, and it turns into an actual object. I printed the front lid, the back piece, and a pocket which has a map. Each of those took about 11 to 12 hours each. We went to architecture school together, and the map is a site plan of our school, so you can sort of, feel it and see it.
This has some imperfection when it got printed. Like this part here, we can't do a lot about that, but since this end is going to be glued here, most of it will be covered. But this part here, we can just clean that up.
You just kind of clean it up a bit with those little tweezers.
All right, I'd say that's pretty good.
To weld the pieces together, you can use hard to bond plastics glue.
It comes with an activator and then the actual glue, so you get both in the same pack. It costs around $3, so it's like really cheap, and it does the job really, really, really well. So I'm applying the activator, which is essentially like a marker, all through this side of this piece. You're supposed to leave the activator for around a minute after you apply it. I'm applying a good amount here because we don't want the lid falling out. All in all, I think it looks pretty good. This is not going to be visible because this is going to be covered like that. So now we're on to our front part.
could either show the front lid or you could show the map. I recently made a print that resembled leather or a leather-like material, and I think this would be a really good material to make a purse out of. I think eggs are like so cute. Like there's something about the yellow and the white that are so like vibrant and cool. I thought it would be like a cool graphic to make a bag.
My name is Krizia and I like to 3D print wearables.